Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Mr. Sudarshan Lodha, the co-founder of Strata, which is an online investment platform that enables you to invest in fractional commercial real estate. Hi Sudarshan, welcome to ELI.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
I would request you to introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Um, I'm Sudarshan. I'm the co-founder of Strata, which is a commercial real estate platform. Prior to joining, prior to starting Strata, I was a lawyer. Was involved into real estate litigation and into private equity side of real estate.
Okay.
Uh, the entire commercial real estate landscape was very exciting to us. We felt it's a very scalable and it's a very large market.
Hmm.
And ever since, when I was on the other side doing law and the structuring for all the private equity transactions, is when the always the interest was to go on the other side as well, right? So
Hmm.
so when Strata as an idea happened, it gave us an opportunity to come on the other side, and ever since then, things have been very great for us.
Okay. Before we start talking about the venture, can you set the context by defining what is fractional ownership of real estate?
Sure, yeah. I mean, let me give you example of a stock market today, right? What a stock market is nothing but a fractional platform where you can buy shares of a company, right? So it's fractionalizing the entire company through shares. We are doing something very similar to properties, right? So what Strata does as a platform is, uh, imagine a 50-100 crore asset, which is very good, prime
Mm,
in location, prime in the tenants, and you definitely see a solid upside over a few period of years.
mm,
Getting 50-100 crores today is no joke for everyone. It's a
mm,
tremendous amount of cash which needs to be deployed in one particular property.
right.
That's when we come in and we say that, hey, we'll identify the opportunity for you. You decide how much of you want to invest. And
Mm,
like you, the platform will identify like minded people who are also interested to invest and enjoy the monthly returns in the form of rents and the long term value appreciation altogether, right? So, that in a nutshell is what Strata is doing on our platform today, where we bring in the most uh, institutional grade A assets and make it offer to normal people like ours who
mm,
perhaps cannot afford 50-100 crores today, maybe in future, but giving them an access to invest about 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crores, lowest being 25 lakhs through the platform and invest. Second thing what Strata is solving for is diversification, right? I think in the investments world, thumb rule is diversification.
mm,
That don't put all your money in one stock market, one stock for that matter. Don't put all your money in one
mm,
asset class, right? So unfortunately, real estate never offered the whole concept of diversification in a big way. And that's when we come in, we say, okay, you have 5 crores, why don't you split 50 lakhs across 10 properties with us, or 1 crores across 5 properties? So even if one tenant in one property goes, your others are going to still do still do well for you, where at the end of the day, your IRRs or your actual returns are going to be great, or you can't expect all the only property investment you make to outperform from a value appreciation. So you're hedging yourself across different markets, different tenants, different types of assets for that matter. You can buy a warehousing with us, you can buy an office with us, you can buy a retail with us. So building that portfolio and giving a plethora of opportunities to investors is the second option, which Strata is solving for in a big way itself.
okay. From the idea point of view, I think it sounds pretty solid. But one thing I'm curious to know is uh, how do you acquire users to buy a fraction of a particular property? And let's say we are buying property A, and you have divided into 10 fractions. Only when you have 10 buyers, then only you can approach the property. How do you solve that problem?
Uh, so Priya, it's been very simple from a platform standpoint. There are two things. Initially, things were different, and now things are a little different because we've evolved. But otherwise, we run ads, we do events, wherever possible, however to do. In fact, we've gone as um, like all the way to even Tirupur and did an event in Tamil for that matter and make people understand what we do, right? Because these are markets where people are looking at investing in a city like Bangalore and a city like Bombay, but don't have accessibility to such opportunities or don't understand also, right?
Mm,
So as such, I tell all my folks also, we are an education company first. We're educating people um, that you can buy real estate online. That's number one. Second, we're educating the the benefits of owning a commercial real estate, and the long term value appreciation as well, right? So these are two things which we're bringing on board for our investors as such. But uh, pretty much one thing which has paved very well for us is the word of mouth. I think we've done decently well, that most of our investors have become our brand ambassadors and are recommending more investors to invest.
Mm,
So that is something which is very, very helpful, and something which we really look up to as a sense of what we are doing, right? It's something which we sleep and get up motivated, the fact that there's someone who's happy and has referred another friend to us. So
mm,
that is the second. But today, if, like you said, to a question that, okay, if you have a 50 crore opportunity, what in the event you got only 49, right? Who's going to give that 1 crore in the end?
mm,
So we have certain underwriting capital partnerships which we have now built, where in the event of any such things, we always have these underwriters who can come in. But to a point where we have not failed any of our opportunities till date, which means, um, what two things I infer from that is, we've done a great job in terms of identifying and at the right price. That's very, very important. And second, there are investors who irrespectively are hungry to invest in commercial real estate as an asset class itself, right?
mm,
So these are two parameters, that this is an investment asset class which everyone wanted to make, but it was out of their reach, and Strata is making it accessible through their platform as such, right? So I think what we're doing is not something new. It's been done in the past. We're just bringing it onto a platform using technology and ensuring like-minded people across the world can come in. As much as we thought it's going to be a very local business, turns out it's an international business. We have almost 20-25% of our base being NRI audiences,
mm.
who obviously in the last 1 year haven't come to India because of the pandemic, but still have been deploying and have been owning assets to us.
Right. The another question I have is how do investors after investment they have to reap some benefit? How do investors get some benefit out of their investment?
So investors make two types of returns. One is whatever rents we generate from these commercial real estate investments, which are leased to grade A clients, right? We give that to them on a month-on-month basis. So whatever rents come, it gets distributed to them on a month-on-month basis. So that is one way in which they make rents. Second is when they sell the asset itself, right? So we're not investing only for rental returns; we're investing for the appreciation of the property as well.
Mm,
That is the second opportunity which is there, is whenever we sell the opportunity for the investors, there is good amount of value appreciation which when we make. Now, real estate is not something which appreciates in a year. It
mm,
takes minimum 4 to 5 years for you to for that asset to appreciate, because it's a market and the market has to appreciate for you to make your maximum returns.
mm,
And hence, from that standpoint, people with a long-term mindset should only invest on our platform. It's not for a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year product as such. This is a 5 year, 7 year, 10 year investment product. The more you stay, the longer and the better capital appreciation you make out of your investment as well. And yeah, these are the two types of revenues investors make through us.
okay. Also, can you help us understand what is the current scale of operation in terms of how many properties we have bought and how many investors are there on the platform, and what is the size of the overall investment?
So it's been, like I said, it's been 1.5 years since we started the entire business. We today manage about 12 properties, manage about 483 crores in terms of AUM. We are closing another asset, and we'll touch the 500 mark, which we had put as a benchmark for ourselves. When we started out, we thought we'll do 500 in 3 years.
Mm,
We've done that in 1.5 years also, right? So clearly, from a product market fit standpoint, our business stands at a strong position right now, and the intent would be to scale this to a 5,000 crore AUM in the next 1.5 years as such, right? So that's what it is. In terms of users, we have about 18,000 plus users today on our platform. About 1,400 plus investors have invested already through our platform
mm.
and are enjoying monthly returns out of the investment.
Okay. Uh, Now, I'd be very curious to know how it all started. What was the initial idea, and who were the initial people who got together to start this venture?
So it was me and my co-founder Priyanka. Both of us started the entire thing. Obviously, we had a lot of our first employees who had joined, who are running integral parts of the company right now, and clearly a team effort. Right, it's definitely not a one-man show at any given point of time. But the whole idea came up from Priyanka and I when we had some savings and we were looking at buying a particular property
Mm,
in Bangalore itself, and it was a larger asset, and obviously we didn't have all the money to buy it.
mm,
So what do? You reach out to your friends, your family, and said, "It's a great asset. Why don't you invest with us? Let's enjoy it together."
okay.
Uh, as a lawyer, I've seen the amount of litigation cases this happens where people buy together, and somebody wants to lease at this price, somebody wants to sell at this price, the others don't want to do it at this price or whatever it is, and hence litigation then starts happening in that particular property, or the property gets stuck in itself, right?
Mm,
Um, so this is one where you reach out to your friends, and they don't trust you, they don't give you the money.
mm,
Second is they might not see the same vision, or they might not have the liquidity at that point of time.
right.
But then, like you, there are a lot of like-minded investors who will be very excited to participate. There's no platform through which they can reach
Mm,
you, right? You can't go to a magicbricks.com or a housing.com or a nobroker.com and say, hey, I'm looking for co-investors to buy a particular property. There are no such forums, unfortunately.
mm,
So we felt, why not build a platform where even though if I find another like-minded investors, I'll not be investing because I don't trust him, I don't know him, etc. Right? So we said, why not build a platform where people can trust the platform? Platform does
mm,
all the work.
mm,
We charter down the rules and regulations of how the entire investment is going to work out, and then investors can invest through the platform and enjoy the monthly return. Right? So this is how the whole idea started off, that okay, we can solve for something which is rampant in India. Many people co-invest together and buy a property,
mm,
but as we keep moving forward, assets which keep getting expensive, 50, 100 crores, 200 crores, you know go for investment also becomes difficult, because how much can one invest beyond a point, right? So we've said, okay, this platform, highly scalable, can go across India. We can leverage technology, ensure investors get their monthly returns, bring transparency into the system itself, take the entire digital approach, because that's another task
mm.
of maintaining the property documents, etc. Is what we are solving for today at Strata.
Speaking of litigations, also I'm very curious to know how do you handle litigations when, let's say, for property A, we have 50 investors and some want to sell it now, some want to lease it, and how do you manage such conflicts?
So all the rules are already set on the platform itself, and people sign into those agreements for that. So if on leasing decisions, if Strata is already the property manager, which is in all the properties, we take the call, we give investors access to all the sale lease transactions of that particular market, and then they're able to decide whether this is the investment they want to make or not, etc., etc. Right. So that is number one, which is very, very critical. Second, with respect to sell, we get 3/4 majority approval and we sell it. So if you're a part of that
Mm,
1/4 who says, no, I don't want to sell it, unfortunately, you signed up the fact that if 3/4 have already given me a go ahead to sell, I will go ahead and sell the entire asset on the way. Right.
okay.
So these are two ways in which we ensure corporate governance is taken care of. No questions of litigation can happen,
Mm,
purely because these are rules which people are signing up for, and only then investing.
mm, okay. Um, Tell us what are the different challenges that you have faced so far while building and growing this venture?
Yeah, we're living in a post-pandemic world, if I can
Mm,
say, if you're out of pandemic already, and we have 40 unicorns in India already this year, right?
okay.
So one of the core challenges has been there's way too much money floating around, where finding tech resources uh, is a challenge, and second challenge, at the price at which we can get them on board, right? So
Mm,
this is one big point, and second, it's a new territory in itself for all of us, right? I mean, we are learning, growing year on year, day by day, getting good feedback from investors, healthy, constructive feedback through which we can improvise ourselves better.
mm,
No one's an expert on day one. No one's has figured out everything. You probably have figured out 90%, but that 10% gets figured out only when you get on the ground and get your foot dirty, right? So So that's how the data journey has been. We've been understanding the market, learning from our mistakes or improvising from what we're doing right now, and most importantly right now building a great culture in the organization. The team is well set, very motivated. We know we are industry category leaders, and with the feedback which we get sometimes is so overwhelming that my entire team is so pumped about so we're mad about doing what we're doing, and this is what gets us up every morning. That let's go out and do much better for our clients, make them more money, and ensure it's an ecosystem which we're trying to build, or a huge customer behavioral change which we're trying to build is thriving over the years. So that's pretty much the idea and vision as such.
Any pivots that you have done prior to achieving product market fit?
We haven't. Whatever we decided, we are still stuck onto that. But we are rolling out some new products through our platform. I would not say they are pivots; they are just an extension to what the current products are, but just a different dimension to it. I would say, right? Like for instance, we today do not take debt in any of our investments. It's pure
Mm,
equity and rent yielding assets,
mm,
where you enjoy your rents on a month-on-month basis. We are going to roll out our first debt product on our platform, where investors would be able to leverage their investments and enjoy better capital appreciation on their investments. Right. So the rent would take care of the EMI,
mm,
and they get better capital appreciation because the bank is not interested in capital appreciation. Bank is only interested in the rental return. That's right. So,
mm,
so these are certain things which we are working on, and we'll be bringing new verticals because there are all sorts of investors with different types of risk metrics. Some who are sophisticated understand the value of leveraging and long-term value appreciation and long-term investments.
mm.
So we're catering to all such audiences through our platform.
What is the North Star metric that you follow to know which direction you are headed? What is the traction you have got, etc.?
Uh, Before, from a company standpoint, I think one of the things is we do our internal surveys and we want to ensure our folks in the company are very happy
Mm,
and they are as motivated as the day they joined the company. That's very important to us, and we keep tracking if we need to invest in L&D for them, learning and development, and ensure we keep investing for them in them so that they keep growing as well. So this is number one metric for us from a company standpoint, to build the right culture and ensure that the team, which is the pillars of our company, are completely pumped, and more importantly are upgrading themselves and doing best for our investors on a regular basis. But from a company standpoint on the business, we when we started out, our first asset took about 75 days to fund. Today we are able to do it in about a week. So
mm.
that's a huge leap which we're seeing. But I think in one of the town halls we had, what is going to be the biggest success story, right? And one of the person comes that our first one took 75 days. The best and the biggest achievement would be if we fund something in 75 seconds, right? So that's at least like a dream which we have, that hey, can we hit there, can we ensure we perform better, that investors lap up something very very fast, and gives us a great response on it.
Interesting. Any growth hacks that you have uncovered along the way and been successful at?
Multiple. I mean, on top of mind, I can just tell you one thing, that you know, from a growth hack standpoint, uh, especially if you're in the investments world, it cannot be just transactional. It has to be relationship driven,
Yep.
which means as much as you're an online platform where you operate online, but now that the markets are open, it's always good for you to be there, meet your investors, build that relationship with them. They've already trusted you, but it's great to have a face or a relationship with that, very 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 important as well. So that is what I would say as one of the biggest growth hacks in wealth management or a wealth tech platform itself, that build relationship rather than just being transaction.
Okay. Now coming to the more personal side of being an entrepreneur, can you tell us how do you stay energetic and consistent throughout your entrepreneurial journey?
Well, so I'll tell you one insider hack is I'm a Marwadi, so that just comes in the blood. You just stay motivated throughout, because you know your goals are this. Everyone around you are also that, all
Hmm.
entrepreneurs. So that's definitely one thing. So for those who wish to start and don't have Marwadi friends, it's great time for you to build more, because
True.
all they talk about is business all the time, right? So that's definitely one good advice which I can always give to folks who are looking at startup and not Marwadis. But again, jokes apart, we love what we're doing. We know it's a huge problem in the country today, and what we're solving for is honestly even shaping the economy in a big way, right? And I can
Hmm.
give you, it's not just capital or money making which is important. There's a huge social angle also which we're able to build on board. To an example, today we bought a factory recently which we're developing for a large client. About 7 to 8 lakh odd square feet. There are going to be 3,000 women who are going to work out of that factory. Right now,
Hmm.
we as a company feel so pumped the fact that we are a part of the growth story as well. Uh, you know, Obviously we are not employing, but there is some kind of an enabling which we are able to do where they are happening, or more than anything, it's so overwhelming that they are working out of our own premises, right? So these are certain things which is a different high to us from a business standpoint itself. That's number one. Second is we are in the business of making our investors richer, right? So, and those investors who didn't have access to such high rental grade A investments, typically those investors were investing into residential real estate, making 1-2% return. Now they're able to make about 8-9% return. I have one of the investors who came to us and told us, I've been always wanting to start a company, but I never had this good passive income which I wanted to create. Because if I had that, I knew my house expenses are taken care of and I could go and express do whatever I want. But now that I've started investing with y'all, I think I'm confident to take that leap of faith and take that plunge. Right now, this is a different level of motivation to us. The fact that we're enabling someone to take that entrepreneurship which he was not able to do before. Right. So multiple stories, multiple things which definitely inspires you and ensures you get up and keep doing what you're doing and keep upgrading or uplifting yourself, or keep pushing limits, more importantly, to what you were doing earlier.
Hmm. How do you manage time, or in other words, how does a typical day look like for you?
uh, Very very tough question. It's time management is very difficult. Um, Especially in the early days of business, it's very difficult to do so. As much as you may want to do so, it's very difficult because you're building something from scratch and the foundation is very important. And one thing which all startups are chasing is not capital, not VC money, etc. We're all chasing time, right? Everyone wants to grow the fastest in the shortest time, be the market or a category leader, and ensure that you have a monopoly over that business over a period of time, right? So uh, time management in the initial days is typically very difficult, and it's as much as you may try, you'll always fail.
Hmm.
But this is why I think it's very important that your loved ones, you have a very clear conversation with them before you start off, that hey, I'm entering into an unknown territory or something which is my dream, I want to do it. And you need to be cordial enough and understand what I'm trying to do and I want to scale up, because you need to be 100% dedicated to your business. That's very important. But at the same time, uh, you need to give time to yourself, right? Burnouts are real. It is important that you give time to your family, to your friends. Even if it's a weekend, weekends off are definitely very important for one to take, no matter what. Have a chat. Sometimes these can be even most motivational drivers. You never know, in some conversation things might strike, and it can be a new way in which you're running your entire company itself, right? Um, so these are few points which are important. But having said that, time with family is very critical. No matter what, how busy you are, it is important for you to give, right? Friends, business, etc. are one side, families on the other side, who'll always stick around no matter what. So take out time no matter what it takes. If you're not in the same city your family is, it's important that at least once a month you do show your face to them. If not for anything, go meet them, spend time with them, because that love and affection can be a source of motivation for you itself and can bring that different life in you as you keep scaling, because these are people who are always going to be with you in your ups and lows no matter what.
Right, that is so true. Um, can you define the term entrepreneur? What is the meaning of entrepreneurship for you?
Wow, this definitely is a very very big question, right? In my opinion, entrepreneurship is chasing dreams and seeing them build in reality, right? So, and there's nothing beautiful than a dream you had, and next day morning you see that's a reality in itself, right? So chase your dreams, go out there and make those realities. There's no better happiness than seeing what you dreamt has come in reality itself.
Okay. My final question to you: tell us the lessons that you have learned as an entrepreneur, which we can take away and apply to our lives and our ventures.
So first lesson, when you're running a business as such, it's a people business. It's not a one-man show at any given point of time. As much as you may be a technology company, there are humans who are running behind, right?
Hmm.
So very important point is take care of your people around you, hear them. There are people who are here for you, who are going to help you build it together, whether it's your employees, friends, advisors, mentors, family, etc., put together. So first very important thing is take care of your folks, hear them, listen to them, and be always open to constructive feedback. That's also very very important. But at the same time, I think one of the great things which is there is be a great listener. uh, and it's not important that you take everything, but it's good important for you to reciprocate everything, right? So that definitely is one big point. And in today's world, especially in entrepreneurship, uh, people are very helpful.
Mhm.
The ecosystem is here to help. No, there might be few folks who might want to put you down, but 99 of them would always want you to grow. They might not be from your same industry, etc. It's always good for you to talk sometimes, not just to learn, but even talk out and share problems, right? Like a fellow entrepreneur would definitely know what is there. And sometimes these things are great for you as an entrepreneur, to understand that you're not lonely. It's something which is happening across, and there are ways people have solved for, and by talking you understand and grow yourself as well, right? So yeah, so these are pretty much the things which I would have to say.
Well, at this point, I think we have come to the end of this session. Thanks for your time, Sudarshan, and our best wishes.
All right, pleasure. Thanks, Priya.